To be vegan or not to be vegan? That is the question. Should we be vegan or should we not be vegan? Or really, what's the philosophy? Some devotees are vegan, some aren't. Who's right? And if I advocate being vegan, some people won't like it. If I advocate not being vegan, some people won't like it. So I just want to tell some stories. Actually, I'm not going to think this out for you. I'm just going to talk about it so you can think it out for yourself. So this idea was on my mind, and I think there's reasons why we would think of being vegan, specifically because the cows who are giving the milk are going to be slaughtered. And from an economic point of view, if you don't support a market, the market dies. So if you don't support slaughtered cow milk eventually dies if enough people don't support it. So that's the idea. And not being able to fully justify it. Of course, the justification is that milk is offered to Krishna, but that doesn't always work in the minds of many devotees because they feel that there's still something wrong with that. So I had gone through these ideas in my mind, and I had this amazing opportunity one day. I was in Vrindavan. This was, I don't know when, maybe 10, 12 years back. And Kormarupa, the late Kormarupa, who takes care of Krishna's cows, I forget the name of that, but he takes care of cows which are diseased or injured or abandoned. And Balabhadra, who was in charge of ISCAP, International Society for Cow Protection, they were both together. And I said, to be vegan or not to be vegan? That is the question. And guess what they both said? Amazingly, they said, be vegan. And I said, why? He said, when you take care of cows, when you develop a relationship with cows and bulls, you can't support an industry that mistreats them and eventually kills them and just exploits them for their milk. They both said that. Interestingly enough, perhaps 1 or 2 months later, the devotee in charge of cow protection, either at Bhaktivedanta Manor or throughout England, UK, gave a lecture in a Bhagavatam class all about why we should take milk and all the benefits of milk and how if we're all vegan then cows will disappear from the earth and so forth. No one will care for the cow and like that. Then, maybe a few years later, I heard something very interesting. This one devotee who's very involved with cows and the earth said, the gift of the cows, even more important than the gift of milk, is the gift of cow dung. So you can have hundreds and thousands of dried up cows. That's not a loss. You're getting the manure and the cow dung. That's nourishing the fields, fertilizing the fields. That's their greatest gift. I thought that was also an interesting angle because, yes, if everyone's vegan, we don't need cows anymore. And then another devotee, his philosophy was, and this is what the GBC conclusion came to, at least in our temples, if you can get milk from protected cows, do everything you can to get it, because that's what we should be doing. And so once we don't do that, then we have this argument, should we be vegan or shouldn't we? But if we just get milk from protected cows we protect, you don't have the argument. Then there's no reason not to be vegan unless it's not good for your health. Unless it's a health issue, that's another thing. But we're not talking about health here. We're talking about philosophy. So the last thing I want to say is that there are devotees who don't believe in that we should commit any violence to any animal. So veganism also means don't take honey if you're a real vegan. Don't wear silk if you're a real vegan. And so some devotees feel that's perhaps a better way to live. And some devotees feel that it's difficult for us to preach about nonviolence and so forth if we're wearing silk, if we're taking honey, if we're taking milk from unprotected cows. That they find it a contradiction. So it's also a consideration in terms of preaching within certain social contexts that people may not appreciate us. Does it mean we have to change our philosophy? No, it's something to consider. And the last thing to consider, which many devotees have and restaurants have, is that some people who are vegan will not take prasadam if there's milk products in it. So sometimes we offer food, maybe choice. This has milk products in it, this doesn't, so we don't alienate people. Now, some people would argue, no, we have our standards, people should come and adapt, but factually not everyone will because they have strong beliefs about being vegan. So they will take prasadam, that's good, if there's no milk products in it. So these are some thoughts. The only real conclusion that we can come from, not the only conclusion, but one of the main conclusions we can come to from this is that I think we should respect devotees if they want to be vegan for whatever reason. Let them do that without condemning them. And then the vegans I know will always take milk from protected cows. That's not a problem if it's not a health issue. So you don't have a good argument not to take milk from protected cows unless it's a health issue. They're not being exploited. They want to give milk. They like to give milk. And even we've heard of cows who give milk when they don't have calves because they love their owner so much. So, yes, cows are cool. And if you don't like cows, you're in trouble because when you go back to Goloka, it's the planet of cows. And you're not going to want to go there, and that's not good. So, vegan, non-vegan, as long as you like cows, at least that's positive. Hare Krishna.